Today we're going to be talking about exhaust leaks. I'm going to be using this car, one because it's old, two because it's the easiest to get under. It's already lifted pretty high. We're going to show you where your exhaust system could be leaking from, the most likely places, and then what to replace to get that sound fixed. So the exhaust starts up right under the engine, coming from the bottom of the engine, and it's going to come all the way back. Now we're just going to start right away with the doughnut gasket. This is the doughnut gasket. It's usually in the middle of your exhaust. You can kind of tell where I am, a little bit closer to the front. It's normally somewhere in here. It's called a doughnut gasket because the gasket is kind of shaped like a donut. And I think it's safe to say that most exhaust leaks come from this gasket. I would give it about a 3/4 come from this gasket alone. So if your exhaust is leaking, this is the first one I would personally take a look at. Now going underneath the front of the car, we're going to take a look at the exhaust manifold. So this big metal piece that connects to the actual engine block is the exhaust manifold. That's where the exhaust first comes out, and then it gets sent down the big main exhaust pipe. The catalytic converter is a part of this. This is where your oxygen sensors are. A lot of times this will leak. There are also gaskets between where the exhaust manifold connects to the actual engine block. They're up there. They're exhaust manifold gaskets. Those will sometimes be bad. It's less common, which is good because they're a little bit more of a pain to replace just because they're up and out of the way a little bit. So the exhaust manifold goes down. It connects after the catalytic converter to typically what's called the downpipe. It's called the J-pipe on newer Subarus. This is a Subaru just because it's shaped like a J. That J-pipe goes up until the doughnut gasket. Now we already discussed the doughnut gasket. But this is usually called a resonator, comes afterwards. It's a part of the midpipe. The midpipe goes from the doughnut gasket to like the last gasket that connects to your muffler. Sometimes this can get a hole in it. Typically just like maybe it'll rust through and get a hole in it if it's old, or welds will break around this thing, and that might cause a little bit of a leak as well. Less common again. What's a little bit more common is this gasket right up here. What this gasket is named can kind of differ. Normally it's just a regular old called an exhaust gasket, but not the doughnut gasket. It is different. Typically this one's much flatter. You'll notice this one has some special clamps on it. We had to do that just because the bolt holes kind of rusted out on this, and that's what we came up with to fix it. So this one also can go out. I'd say a little less common than the doughnut gasket ahead of it, probably because the doughnut gasket is ahead of it. But this one's a much flatter gasket. You see it there, much flatter than the doughnut gasket. Now the rest of the exhaust is usually just the muffler. The pipe going up to the muffler, that's typically fine. The muffler itself can sometimes rust out. You see the rust spots covering this one already, and this is a new one. You can tell by the shininess of the pipe compared to the rest of it. The muffler itself is notorious for, regardless of the car, getting holes in it. The muffler can rust out, and then that causes a big annoying leak right at the end of your car as well. So that pretty much finishes us off. If the muffler is leaking, you probably need to replace this whole last chunk of exhaust. Typically the muffler goes to a gasket that connects to the mid-pipe. It's a little dark, there it is. And then the mid-pipe will go down until the doughnut gasket, which is the most common problem. And the rest of it's that downpipe, the catalytic converter area, and the exhaust manifold as well. So those are all the places to check for leaks on your exhaust and the gaskets that you likely be getting to replace. If not a whole chunk of pipe because you have a hole in a pipe. Hopefully not.